As the prevailing voices in the spotlight are predominantly men, stepping into the truth of who you are as a woman is political change. Welcome to today's episode of the Women Series, where we'll capture developments and stories that impact women. Happy new month to you. It's the month of June, and of course, it is our democracy month where we get to look back, reflect as a country, and then we celebrate. It's actually the 22 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria. And on the Women's Series for the month of June, we will be looking at the role of women in driving a stable Nigerian political system. My guest today is a Nigerian politician, an educationalist, a writer, and of course, Nigeria's only female presidential candidate during the 2015 election. Join me in welcoming Professor Remi Sonaiya. Thank you for joining us on the program today. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure
to have you. It's such an honor
to
meet you in person. I mean, I haven't gone through some of your profile and saw that you had to resign just because you wanted to go into the political race.
Yes, because I wanted to take it seriously.
So before then, were you maybe not actively, were you into politics?
No, actually, I had not considered politics as something to engage me in terms of a substantial part of my time. I was very happy doing what I was doing. I was a lecturer in a university. I was enjoying teaching and things like that.
Please, let's add that.
Thank you very much.
2004. You became a professor in 2004. Let's remember
2001,
to add that.
Actually.
2001. That's interesting. That's a long time.
So, but you know, I was enjoying it and so on. But gradually, I started noticing a discontent, with what was happening around me and so on. The level of the students, in terms of the quality of students we were having in the university was really going down, Yes. And of course, it reflected the general downward trend of everything in the country. At that time, funding for the universities was really poor, So anyway, after a while, it struck me that, look, it's politicians who decide, who determine the quality of our lives. Right. We place our resources in their hands, and they determine what to do with those resources, whether to pocket it or to use it in the service of the people. And it just struck me that in that case, good people had to be in politics, and I thought more and more about it. And I felt, let's give this thing a try.
And then it was such an experience for you.
Yes, it was a wonderful experience. I'm still there, so I shouldn't be talking about it.
It was
in
because it's still an active. Yes, it is an experience.
A wonderful experience. Right. I'm enjoying having to grapple with the issues that the country is dealing with. Of course, I don't have any official platform, to ensure the execution of anything. But as a personal journey, it's also been wonderful, and definitely running for office was also a great experience.
So after the experience in 2015, you had a book written, One Woman's Race. Mm-hmm. And while going through this topic, I think you had a different topic while you even had the book ready, right? But then you decided to choose One Woman's Race. Mm-hmm. And this leaves me with this question: why exactly did you choose this particular this as a title? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, why One Woman's Race? Was it that you felt like it was just only you at that time? You felt like you were just the only woman running the race, or you felt like other women were not supporting you at that time?
No, that was very, very far from my thinking. Actually, it wasn't a philosophical, hidden meaning, anything. It was just, hey, this is Remi's. This is what Remi did. Exactly. Like this is an account of the race that I tried to run. Not in any way to insinuate that I was running it alone. If you read the book, then you would read about the various people whom I acknowledged. I'm always conscious of the fact that I had to, well, like the saying goes, stand on the shoulders of other people, to get to where I am, today. So in terms of family, my background, in terms of schools that I attended, the teachers who taught me, even in terms of, classmates and things like that, we are a composite of all the different influences that that we've come under, and we might not be always mindful of it, but I think we are shaped by so many different things. So it's not in my character to think, oh, this my thing. Not at all.
I just wanted clarity
Yeah.
on the title of the book. So, right, unlike other climes like the US economy, basically, let's just say the European countries, basically, where there are more women participating in politics and more women holding key political positions. The Nigerian economy seems to be lacking with regards to this. What practical steps could it be embarked upon to change this narrative?
You've touched on something very important here, because actually what baffles the entire world, I think, in respect of Nigeria and our current situation, is that everybody is convinced that we have no business being where we are today. Why? Because of the incredible talents that Nigeria has. That Nigerians, just think of any big thing happening somewhere around the world. There is usually one Nigerian
around that circle.
Exactly,
yes.
is part of the team. Medicine, business, entertainment, sports, and things like that. Nigerians are playing their part. So we are recognized. And it's not a question of it's just the men that are there, it's also the women. And in the non-political spheres of endeavor, women are there, very well represented, taking leadership as heads of institutions, whether academic institutions, financial institutions, and so on and so forth. So what the question is, what is wrong with us once it comes to politics? Then the women,
that's the only place
that is the place that, yes, and yet that is what determines every other area. Is it creating an enabling environment for business to thrive, or making sure our educational institutions are running well and can produce the kind of quality that the world requires at this time? All of that has to do with visionary leadership, capable people taking the lead in advancing the best policies that the country needs. And there is no way that anybody can say we don't have women in Nigeria who are able to do that. Why is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala the head of the WTO? Why is Amina Mohammed the deputy Secretary General of the UN, and so on? So Nigerians are qualified.
At least we can't take that out. We are qualified.
Yes. So why are we not allowing, Nigerian women to also participate in the building of our country politically? It baffles the world, and it baffles many of us Nigerians too. Yeah.
There'll be change.
Hope so. We hope so. Yes.
We just need to keep pushing the narrative.
We keep pushing. We keep working. We keep working. There are a lot of initiatives going on, and I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that I'm also part of, like the Fix Politics initiative. We are currently running a school of politics, and saying, look, maybe part of our problem might be that even the people that we are electing as our politicians to run our affairs, they are not even mindful. They don't know, what the whole enterprise entails. So let us
Are they people
equip.
driven or they are self-centered
Exactly.
driven?
So there is currently about 250 Nigerians going through this school of politics, dealing with, and with an international faculty, teaching them, taking them through so many different areas of what it means to run a country, to govern effectively, to give your people the best, kind of a system that you can, that works,
Can be
and
sustained.
that they can be proud of.
Right.
So that's going on now, and personally, I'm looking forward to seeing several of those people and others who will come, thereafter, uh, begin to be the ones that will be in charge of our political system.
Right. So women participation in politics cannot be, we can't take it out of the fact that it is affecting how we facilitate the education of girl child and various empowerments for the girl child. There is a connection between that. Also, we have several incidences of the kidnapping of a girl, just like a very good example is the Chibok girls. What actions are needed to empower the girl child by helping her understand how strong and valuable she
In
is?
fact, thank you very much for that question and for linking the participation and, the maybe giving the girl child a sense that, she also is important, that she matters. Everybody matters. Uh-huh. Because if the experience in our environment is that once we talk of leadership, it's all male. It's all male. What is the message that we are passing across? So you are telling the girls that really you don't quite fit into the
Or even
image
if they even
you're
want to now put you in, they're putting you as like a
as
second citizen,
or as a token,
as it
some kind
just
of
puts you there.
tokenism. Let's
Yeah.
just, they say, oh, for gender balance, you're talking gender balance, and it's like, 2 out of 35, what kind of balance is that? What kind of balance are we talking about? So those are the issues. We must create for all our children the environment that makes them all dream, to become, uh, citizens of this country who are able to contribute their quota to what's happening in the country, that they can aim high. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to be that. Not just present to them a world in which their gender has almost no
I was going to
role,
ask
no
a
role
question
to
on
play.
that because some analysts have explained that we should pay attention not only on we shouldn't pay attention on gender alone, but we should pay attention to qualifications. As much as we pay attention to gender, maybe I should rephrase, we should also pay attention to qualifications.
Yes, because it will
Exactly.
disqualify a lot
Yes,
of the men who are
exactly.
there right now,
Right.
actually.
So,
Yeah.
so what are your responses?
I,
I mean,
I
you have been through that risk before.
yeah,
What was your experience like?
I am of the opinion, I think it even has to do with democracy. I'm beginning to,
Exactly. That is the actual meaning of
yeah,
democracy.
and I'm beginning to rethink it in the light of um, the ability of the citizenry to even, how would I put it, to select the right kind of people, to have that capacity to weigh options, to weigh the different individuals that they have, before them, campaigning, trying to sell themselves, say, vote for me, and things like that. And the ability to say, based on what this one is saying, based on the background that they have, and so on, I feel that this one is more likely, rather than this one gave me 2,000, this one is offering 4,000. So what kind of a democracy is it that we are running if our people really cannot make well-informed decisions? If they are so impoverished, so illiterate, that it's the highest bidder for their votes, really, that gets the vote, then that is, for me, not real democracy.
You made mention of the true essence of democracy,
Yeah.
right? So, how would you rate the Nigerian economy since it became a democratic state dating back to 1999?
Well, I'm not an economist, but I think one does not even need to be an economist to know that, if so many people are falling into poverty daily, such that Nigeria is now called the poverty capital of the world, of the entire world. I mean, we overtook India in terms of just the number of people who have become poor. India has more than 4 times our population. But in terms of poor people, we have more. So I mean, it's not like one doesn't need a certificate in economics to know that we are not doing well at all economically. You can talk of all the GDPs and whatever you like. For me, the worth of an economic system that is running well is that it gives a decent quality of life to all your citizens.
I think basically that's just what it should be, giving a
That's
quality
it.
and a decent life. We shouldn't be
Exactly.
asking for more
So
than
if
that.
so many of your people are sleeping out in the open, under bridges, they're living in slums, but at the same time, you have those who can, without batting an eyelid, spend 1 million on some, trifle and things like that. What kind of an economy is that? It's not right. There is something fundamentally wrong. If our economy is not geared towards giving a better life to the general.
So would you say
citizenry.
that, in your opinion, would you say that it would have been better if we had more women in politics?
It's obvious. It's not in my opinion. It is a proven fact that in countries, because having more women, what are we saying? We tend to genderize it so much. It's about being inclusive. That's all it really means, being inclusive. When you are inclusive, what it means is that you are tapping into the skills, the competencies, the abilities that a wider range of, people can bring to your development. That's what it means. If you limit it to just a subset, you are cheating yourself. You are cheating yourself because you are not even recognizing that there are many people out there who may be able to contribute significantly to what we are trying to do so that all of us will now benefit. That's what, this is all about. It's not a question of, oh, let women be there too and things. No, we are cheating ourselves. We are shooting ourselves in the foot, delaying our advancement because we are not inclusive. We're not practicing an inclusive system. women have specific abilities that would contribute to the decision-making process and the execution, of policies. A lot of people noticed, for instance, during the pandemic, that the response in countries that had women
Was different.
as
It
leaders,
was quite
it
swift
was
and
sharp, it was
yeah.
different, swift, and things, and they were able to manage. And it seems that they reined in, the situation fairly well. It has to do with innate abilities, ways of perceiving things, and so on. Exactly, exactly. So if we don't include them around the table where decisions have been making, we are the ones who suffer for it, and we have indeed been suffering for it.
I hope there is going to be a change very
I,
soon.
I pray so. We keep working
Yeah,
towards it.
definitely.
Yeah.
We'll keep working. I think that's just the spirit. We'll keep
Mhm.
working. Let's take the final question. Many women look up to you as a role model in terms of your consistency, in terms of your qualifications, and your drive as well, so that other women can also learn from you as woman in the political scene. Can you share some of your challenges you encountered while you were running at that time for the presidential elections and how you were able to surmount that challenges?
Um, Let me begin by saying that, I don't think it's people are meeting me at the end,
Okay.
probably, at the point of running. I think what I would like to focus attention on is what came before. What's the preparation, you know? And I have hinted at, you know, the, the aspect of standing on the shoulders of some people, learning from various people, being mentored and trained by them. I like to point to the fact that I came under the influence of very disciplined people. People who just worked well. If there was work to do, they gave it their best shot. They did not accept sloppiness in any way in which I find that missing more and more these days. Not many people are willing to give things their best shot, especially if there's no reward immediately. If there's so there's this, what's in it for me?
Yes, that's
So
fine.
if there's nothing in it for me, then hey, I'm not playing ball. You know, I did not grow up under that kind of training or whatever. From my mother at home. She made you work. She made you work to the highest, quality possible. I often give the example of even hemming hand by hand, hemming a dress. If your hems, if your stitches were not equidistant, one from
Details.
the other, the same distance, you are hemming a dress, one stitch from the other by hand must be the same, distance. You didn't do that. It didn't pass my mother's inspection. Exactly. So you gave you had to work to the best standard. And I think that just gave me an outlook on life that expected things to be very well done.
That
So
was basically
I
your
was
drive.
intolerant of all this mess that I was seeing around, dirty environments and things. All of that, I think, was what came together to drive me into politics. It was like, no, this is not how things are supposed to be. That's not what my mother taught me. That's not what my school teachers and principals and so on. This is not how they taught. They made you clean stuff. So what's wrong with these ones? Were they not taught to clean things? Were they not
Then you
taught?
start to question.
Exactly. Were
their
they not taught
upbringings
to
and all
work
those
well?
things,
Were they
yeah.
not taught, how to do your work to a level that it would gain the approval of whoever was looking at it? So I think that is the area that we should focus on. People, we are not working hard. We are not. We need to do right.
I think that's like the summary of all that
Yes,
we said today.
yes,
We need to do right,
yes, yes.
regardless of any bias,
Exactly.
regardless of
Is
any-
anybody looking?
Exactly.
Is nobody looking? Work to the best. It's even more fulfilling. It's more fulfilling. People say, is that what we will eat? It may be part of what you will eat, but let that not be the consideration. Right now, I just say that we've lost the value, of we've lost something regarding the quality of work that we do. There's no pride in it. I bought a bag of, I told this gardener I wanted humus soil. All right. So sell me a bag of humus. I want to put it in my plants in my garden. And I saw that it was filled with plastics and things like that. I said, for goodness, this? He said, hey, that's what we too use. I said, so because you use something like that, so that it makes it right. I said, it doesn't matter. Chips of plastic bottles, pure water sachets and everything mixed together. I said, I can throw that on my garden. So why don't you first of all sieve it and throw away the garbage? Look at the way workers in local government areas, they want to clear a gutter. Okay? They won't bring a receptacle into which they will put the garbage that they are taking from the gutter. So they are going to put that garbage on the side of the road. So we first of all, garbage out of the gutter on the road. Do you see them coming back to clear that thing? All of it is getting. But then what is wrong with us? If you want to evacuate something, shouldn't you have a container? Yes, and a plan. Think ahead. So we want to clear this gutter. We bring something to clear it into and take away. What's the meaning of clearing gutter on the road? So there's a way things are supposed to be done. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, that sums it up. We should do things right, gender inclusion, and as well, we shouldn't focus more on who is who. We should focus more on qualifications as well. And that sums up our discussion for today. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Women Series. I'm sure you had, it was such an enlightening process for you as much as it was for me. And look forward to the next episode. If you've got questions or comments, kindly reach out to me at Ayomide at ProShareNG.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, thank you for watching.